Good morning. Hey, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning, Elise. Elise, can you send out today's link in an email to everybody real quick? I've been getting some. Oh, well, there's Galvin. Okay. Just want to make sure we double check everybody.
I can do that.
Seven deaths in the state. Greene County is reporting 76 cases.
I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody as they come in, and we'll let everybody unmute themselves if they want to talk. The mute function's handy when we do the ALC meetings via Zoom because we can cut Mike off. I don't think he can hear me. Give everybody a few minutes. Appreciate you joining us on this Good Friday morning. Hope everybody's going to enjoy their Good Friday. Elise, I assume we got all the email issue solved?
As far as I know, yes.
Good. For those of you that don't know, we had a slight malfunction yesterday afternoon with the FourSeasonsRealty.com emails that the Four Seasons group's been using. Obviously, we got Gerald and Elise and Kedra and I all got on it as fast as possible, and I think we got the problem fixed before it caused too much of an issue. But if you're having intermittent email issues still, reach out to one of us, let us know, we'll address it.
Martin, don't forget about our 1 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I will do my best not to.
I only said that because if I don't say it, I'll forget it.
That's fine. I understand.
Okay, I sent out the link for the Zoom meeting for right now.
All right, excellent. Thank you. Appreciate all your help. So we got people jumping in. It's 9 a.m. It's a holiday day. We're going to give everybody a couple of minutes. I hope you're all doing well. I want to talk about just briefly yesterday. I know there was some confusion around the apps. There is a lot of apps. Marina, you had a good idea. I'm going to type up that list and get Elise to email it out today. But really, it's the Keller Williams consumer app and the Kelly app are the two that you'll need to use. The one that Jordan was showing was there's an iPad version that you can share with your clients. And, you know, these days a lot of people are using iPads and tablets, and so that's where that search functionality came through. I want to encourage you guys to play around with it. I can't tell you enough all of that I've learned about the tech. Robin Staten, Jordan, any of us, Matt Ford, any of us that have been teaching or talking around the tech, we didn't have some sort of boot camp training for it. What we did was we dove in and we spent a little time each day working it and making it work for us and using it. I want to encourage you guys to, you know, dive into the tech and play with it. Don't, you know, I used to tell new agents, just click on everything. Just go click on everything. Just see where it takes you. Just have some ahas around it. Don't worry, the building will not explode. Your computer will not start counting down and shut down. You won't harm anything by just clicking, you know. And we try to bring you as much training and information as we can around all the technology, but there's so much of it available to us that it's hard to, you know, cram it all in. Also, when you're working through, Amy just sent the link for this morning's meeting. Yeah, Robin, we had to send it out again. It's a recurring meeting, so the same link should work recurring, but some people struggle to find it in their emails and things like that. So, we're just trying to share it out every day to remind everybody. And we'll be sharing out the link after this meeting for today's 3 o'clock happy hour. We hope you'll all dive in and join us. We had a great time last Friday blowing off a little steam. Alan says it didn't work when she clicked it.
I shared the link that Amy had on Facebook, and that's how I signed into the meeting. Was
Okay.
the link.
Me too. The one Amy put on Facebook a while ago is the one I just clicked on and got on.
Yeah.
Okay. You may have to click. I'm texting back. You may have to click a couple times.
Could be your Zoom setting too.
Could be your Zoom settings. Yeah, absolutely. And, we could also share meeting ID with her if we need to. So can you guys communicate that? Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. So good morning, everybody. Everybody's jumping in. Alicia, I use the same link in the same email I've been using. That's right. It's a recurring email. So in the link, there should be a way to embed it into your Google Calendar, which kind of leads to something that I wanted to talk about this morning. So we've been diving in a lot on the tech. We've been talking about lead generation. We talked about mindset. One of the things I'd like to talk about is fundamentals. So as an old productivity coach, I'm kind of like an old football coach or an old basketball coach. I just preach fundamentals, fundamentals, fundamentals. You'll hear me want to talk about very little other than lead gen, lead follow-up, those kind of things. One of the big things that I want everybody to be mindful of right now as we're in this kind of weird time, right? And it's so easy. One of the reasons we're doing these at 9 a.m. every morning is to try to get everybody up and starting their day right and in the mindset for running their business, because business has not ended. Agents that are working are writing contracts. I hear people every day writing contracts, going to closings, going to listing appointments. For those of you that aren't friends with Tatum, the people over at Great American Title are offering virtual closings. So there's a way to keep doing business in this, right? And it's hard. And I'll admit it. If you haven't noticed, my background has changed. I tried to take my computer back and work from home, and I had to come anchor back at the office because it was harder to stay on a schedule, right? And time blocking is such an incredibly important part of success in our business, right? And if you are utilizing your time blocking, now I know you got kids at home, or you got a spouse at home, or you got your dogs at home. I know there's a lot of distractions at home, right? I understand that it's hard to work from home, but one of the things that'll help you is if you time block. So one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to kind of share my calendar, and now understand that this is an ideal calendar for me. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not always great at it. And one of my big rules is in light of or in absence of perfection, accept production, right? If you can't be perfect, be productive. Okay. So I aspire to hit my calendar goals every day. If it doesn't happen, well, okay, I wasn't perfect, but I was productive. I was moving forward, and I'm going to get up the next day and attend it. So one of the things I wanted to show you is kind of what mine looks like. Let me pull up my screen here. So in an ideal world, this is what my Fridays would have looked like before coronavirus, right? So before we kind of got things moved around. Now I have my Zoom really it needs to be at 9 a.m., right? So I need to move that to my 9 a.m. And I had to insert an appointment here for a Friday because I had to move my ALC consult. So this is a team leader calendar. Obviously, you guys aren't doing ALC and top 20 consults, but what those are is those are appointments, right? One of my jobs is to talk to my top agents in my ALC and see how they're doing, see how their business is doing, coach them, consult them more than coach them, really. I mean, top agents don't necessarily need you to tell them to lead generate. They need you to talk to them about, what's going on. Mike Staten will tell you, our consults, sometimes it's as much him advising me as me advising him. It's good to talk to someone that's a master in the business, and I get a lot out of those meetings with ALC. So you want a time block. You want to build your schedule. And then those of you guys that are joining us, or even Keller Williams agents that haven't approached this yet, your kellerwilliams.com email is a Gmail account. And you get a full Gmail suite with it. You can go to Google and log in to your Keller Williams email account, and you get Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets. You also get Google Calendar, right? And that's a great way to connect it all. And if you connect that Google Calendar and you start utilizing it, it'll communicate with your command and your Kelly. So, go in and time block. So you can see I've got lead generate, right? 9 to 11, lead follow up at 11, top 20% conversations, 11:30, lunch from 12 to 1. And then these for you guys would be appointments, right? You would want to have your appointments here. What I want to encourage everybody to do is also build in, right now, you need to be building in some training into this is a great time to learn your craft, to master your craft, to practice. So maybe you put in an hour from 9 to 10, you're on the Zoom, and from 10 to 11, you're diving into the tech. Eat that elephant a little bit at a time. And if you'll do this and you'll start to try to live by the schedule, you'll see success, and you won't get up. The worst thing we can do right now is get up every day and say, what am I going to do today? Well, I'll make some calls later. I don't know. I'm going to watch a couple episodes of that show I like to stream on Netflix. You still got to go to work. You still got to jump up and run your business. And if you'll set yourself a calendar and live by it, you'll see a lot more success. And one of the people that I asked to join me this morning, and you'll hear me talk about what a great influence he is on me in general, but Mike Staten is a huge user of his calendar. If you want to make an appointment with Mike, if you want to do something, you see him pull out that phone, go to his Google Calendar and put it in. And that set a great example for me as a new TL to watch how he utilized that. So Mike, can you weigh in here on a little bit on how you use your time blocking, and also kind of what an ideal agent's day should be time blocked to look like?
Well, I tell you, Martin, for me, the calendar was huge because I'm a guy that has a very short attention span and I chase squirrels a lot. So if I don't have it in the calendar, I may just get up and just go wherever the day leads me. And at the end of the day, I go home, and there was days I could go home feeling exhausted and really think about it. And I really didn't accomplish anything. I just run around fire to fire to fire and chasing squirrels and didn't really accomplish anything. So being the team leader there at Lake of the Ozarks for 18 months really helped me with that, because you do have a consistent schedule. I had 8:27 to 9 was my stand up with the staff. From 9 to 11 was lead generation, 11 to 12 lead follow up, and you had lunch, as you said, and then 1, 2:30, and 4 o'clock were your recruiting appointments. So it just helped keep me on track. Having a MAPS coach also really helped me with that. But it just, if I don't time block and I don't put it in my schedule, for one thing, I don't remember it, and I may miss stuff. So the calendar is vital for me, and I agree with what you said. It just keeps us on track. And I may not follow a schedule for every minute, every hour of every day, but if I can time block, let's say, Keller Williams, our model is a time block for lead generation from 9 to 11 every day. Sometimes 9 to 11 may or may not work. It may be later, but as long as I've got things in my calendar that I'm going to do every day, that no matter what else happens in the day, I know I've had a productive day. Whether it's like Andy said the other day, making 10 phone calls to past clients or whoever. And, I even stick stuff in there. We haven't got into a lot lately, or especially with our Four Seasons family, the circle of life, the wheel of life. I sometimes break it down into categories. What do I need to do today for my spiritual life, for my personal growth, and for my business? And if I can just pick one or two things in time block and put those in my calendar for each maybe of those three categories, then I feel like no matter what else the day brings, I've had a productive day. I've had, this is Good Friday. It's been Holy Week, and I've been reading a plan from out of the Bible, according to, from the Holy Week through all of that. So that's helped me keep on track. But a calendar just helps keep guys like me, Martin, that chase squirrels all day long and run in circles, just kind of keeps us focused and on track.
Sure, absolutely. And that's, you referenced Andy, and that one of the things that Andy talked about, and you heard Jordan mention it yesterday, and you'll hear us talk about this a lot when you're doing something like a 1-3-5, right? So what's our one most important thing every day? What's the one thing a real estate agent has to do every day to have a successful business? Mike?
Lead generate.
That's it. Sorry, his cat got in the way there, but he was
Yeah.
lead generate. That's right. Lead generate. And what you heard Andy and Sierra say is, until I do priority one of goal one on my 135, I haven't earned the right to move on. And this is how you earn the right to move on, is you honor your schedule and you get up and you say, okay, I'm going to lead generate from this time to this time. Now, one of the things that I had a conversation with Dan Bolin this week, and he's one of our newer agents at Four Seasons. And I said, the problem with saying lead generate is what does everybody think when you say lead generate?
Phone calls.
Yeah. I didn't say get up and cold call. I said lead generate, right? There's a difference. Touch your database. So often people forget that there is no one-to-one activity. Mike, do you get an appointment for every phone call you make?
Unfortunately, I do not.
Right. Nobody does, right? It's about the grand total of our work effort. And so you've got to get 33 to 36 touches on your database every year to generate the business you want to have. Don't think of everyday lead generation as cold call. Now, do you need to make calls every day? Sure. Do you have to call somebody and say, hey, do you want to buy or sell a house today? You don't have to make that call. You don't have to use that script. You can call and just say, hey, how you doing? Right? Hey, Mike, how's it going? Hey, I'm great. Oh, good, man. Well, I was just sitting here doing a little work. It's my lead generation time. Thought I'd give you a call. I used to sometimes call people and say, well, I was tired of calling everybody else, so I thought I'd call somebody I liked and talk to them for a minute. You can be friendly with it. You can be friendly with it. And don't feel like a salesman. This is one of the things that, and Mike's going to shake his head and Gary Keller would smack me in the back of the head. I don't believe we're salespeople. I believe we're consultants. I believe we are, guides to one of the toughest things and biggest decisions somebody makes in their life. I'm not a salesman. I think of that as if I had a parking lot full of slightly used 3-bedroom, 2 baths I needed you to drive home in today. That's a salesman, right? What I'm doing is consulting. And how do you become a consultant? Well, people need to trust you. They need to have a relationship with you. So, build that relationship. Robin weighs in. We all know Robin's the brains behind the Staten Group. Mike's just the name, right? For agents, if you go ahead and put appointments and lead gen in your calendar, then if you have a client who can only go see a house during one of those times, set that showing and move your lead gen time to another time slot in the same day. If you must erase, then you must replace. Having a schedule on your calendar will remind you that you need to fill those appointments. That's right. That is absolutely right. I couldn't agree with you more, Robin. Business always takes precedence, right? So don't think of owning your calendar as, oh, I'm sorry, I can't go show you that listing. I've got to do my lead gen time. Hey, no, go show the listing and adjust. That's why it doesn't have to be perfect. I think I just saw a message that Jamie Estes raised his hand. Jamie, please don't raise your hand anymore. Just jump in.
One of the things that we say is we're actually people's financial advisors through real estate.
I love that.
We help people gain wealth through real estate.
I love that. I love that. That's a great point. As you're a financial advisor, what's most people, Mike, Jamie, either one of you guys, what's most Americans' biggest investment?
Their home.
Their home, right? So you're working with them on their biggest investment. They've got some Edward Jones guy that they're giving $50 a month to put into an IRA, and he's acting like he's their financial advisor, and you're acting like you're just their salesperson, right? When in reality, you're consulting with them on the biggest financial decision they will ever make in their life. I read a story one time about one of the companies that builds all of the ships for the Navy, right? They build big battleships and they build littoral combat craft and all this. And they're up the river from the ocean. And when they need to take those ships out of the docks and take them down to the ocean for sea trials, they have this old guy that's lived in this area forever that he comes in and he drives every one of those Navy ships through that river, right? So think about that. This is not a military guy. This is a guy, this is a civilian that's driven almost every naval craft that's been built for our Navy in his lifetime. He's driven them down this river. And the reason is he's an expert in that river. He grew up there. He lives there. He knows that river. So he understands when the river's up, when the river's down, where the dangerous spots are, where you can get hurt. I like to think of us as that person. Our job is to drive that big, huge investment through the choppy, unknown waters and get them out to sea and get them sailing, right? So I love what Jamie said. We're financial advisors. And what do financial advisors do? They build relationships. So, Jamie, what do you guys do around time blocking for your team?
Well, I think that we have to, whatever we're committed to today, that's the most important thing to move our business forward. We have to get that done first.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to put that on the calendar first. And so, one of the things that my agents do, not all the time, but they'll actually text me what their priorities are for the next day and put them in order. So if they only get number one priority done, then they had a massive win for the day.
Mm-hmm.
If they get down to number 3, then they had a really good win. But those need to go on there first. We got to do those first.
I love that. I love what
Whatever
Jamie
that is.
I love what Jamie just said, because if they get that number one thing done, that's a massive win, right? And one of the things that's hard sometimes is you got to give yourself wins. In this business, it's not, you hear say all the time, it's simple, it's not easy. You're going to have days where you strike out on every call, but if you made the calls, that's a win, right? Victory is in the doing in this business. Victory is in the undertaking the activity. So you got to learn to give yourself wins. I mean, you don't always, like Mike said, unfortunately, you don't call one person, get one appointment, get one listing, sell that house the next day. So it's about getting up every day and undertaking the activities. You got to give yourself wins. So I love that Jamie said that. If they got 5 things to do, but they get that big one thing done, that's a big win, right? Oh, sorry, Jamie, you look like you're fixing to say something, so I was pausing.
No,
He always just looks like that. So
You're looking good today, though, little buddy.
yeah, looking sharp, and good to see everybody on here. We appreciate the turnout. We're up to almost 40 people. I know it's Good Friday, so some people are taking the day off. We certainly want to honor that. So I wanted to just talk a little bit about time blocking. Get in there, build your schedule. The other thing, Mike, when I put this schedule into Google Calendar, is it fixed and therefore it is my calendar no matter what, never changes, no flexibility?
No.
Right. If it doesn't work for me and I say, man, I need to adjust this, I can go move these boxes, right? So many times people get paralysis analysis. They say, I got to get it just perfect or I can't do it. Don't worry about that. Start using the calendar. Make some mistakes. You want to make an omelet? Break a few eggs, right?
Yes.
So, Mike, can you think of anything else? Because we're going to bounce around as we do on Fridays. I want to talk about some other things within the technology and command, but I wanted to give everybody a message. Can you, maybe take us home with a few more thoughts on time blocking and how to really think about your day, especially right now while you're working from your home office?
Well, I tell you, and I could go a million different directions in this, and so that's the way my mind works. That's the way I roll. One thing I think that helps me a lot too is, and from being in that role, that team leader role, is we get used to doing a 411. And I think we all have a lot of activities we want to do and we feel like we need to do. But I think for me, the key was narrowing it down to the top 3 or 4 things that I need to do every day and putting those in the calendar. And those are non-negotiable. Now, some of the other things may be, because as you said, sometimes things do come up. And you do have to adjust your calendar a little bit. And some things maybe can come off. Maybe 7, 8, 9, and 10, those can come off. But 1, 2, and 3, those are crucial for the success of my business. And those are generally the high income producing activities. So the top 3 or so things, 2, 3, 4 things in your calendar that you want to do in time block every day, those are non-negotiable. So you have to be able to do those. And of course, lead generation being one of those. And I'll also say, Martin, and I won't get long-winded, one of the other things I think that we sometimes maybe, and I'm speaking maybe to me, that don't do as well is it's not just lead generation, but I think lead follow-up is equally or more important. I think a lot of times we'll make the first call, maybe it's a FSBO, and they say, well, I'm not really ready to list it right now. I'm going to try it on my own, but maybe down the road. Oh, okay, great. That's fine. I appreciate you taking my call. Have a good day. And you never call them back, and 2 weeks later, you see another agent that's listed that property. Well, somebody followed up and you didn't. So I think when you time block and you're clear on the activities that you have to do every single day, it's lead generation and lead follow up first and foremost, and make sure you're touching base with people and fill in your pipeline. I don't walk around like a robot scheduled, every time slot and every hour of every day in my calendar full, but there are certain things that are in there that, as I said a while ago, are non-negotiable. So for me, if they're not time blocked, if they're not in the calendar, and that's a bold law, if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. But that does work for me. If it's not my calendar, there's a very good chance I'm probably not going to get to it or not going to do it that day. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind anyway.
No, I love it. And you know what? This is my favorite subject, lead generation. And I would have let you talk. And when you said I'm not going to be long-winded, I thought, man, take all the time you need, because lead generation, if we're not talking about that, we're not talking about the real estate business, right?
Yeah.
And I'm glad you brought up the bold laws. If you guys can see my screen here, the bold pivot, we have the digital bold coming, right? And so if you go to your,
Whoa.
If you go to your, I'm a little too fast with my mouse there. If you go to your mykw.com right now, you can register. It's normally $800. It's $99. $99, guys. The average agent, last year the stats were out, and I think they did 14 transactions coming out of bold, right? So somewhere between 10 and 14 transactions after you get through with your bold in the next 3 months. How'd you like to do that? That's, for some people, that's a year, right? One of my favorite stories I used to tell my coaching clients, and I'll try to find the picture and share it to the Facebook. So my first mega camp, I'm down there at mega camp, and we're all hanging out, and it's been a long day, and it's hot in Austin, and we're at the hotel where most people are staying, and it's a fancy hotel in Austin. And I'd gone outside to make a phone call and have a smoke. And I'm standing outside, and the valets pull up this Mercedes-Benz. The guys, it looked like something Batman, Bruce Wayne would drive. I mean, this was not just your regular Mercedes-Benz. This was a movie star level Mercedes-Benz. And I'm standing there, and I'm convinced. I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm fixing to see a movie star come out of this fancy Austin hotel and get into this car, because this is not just a Mercedes. This is like the one from the commercials, right? And I'm standing there and I'm watching, and I see this woman come out, and I think, well, I don't recognize her. She doesn't look famous. And this was the coolest car I'd ever seen in my life, guys. I mean, this car was crazy. And they hand her the keys, and she jumps in, and I step over in front of the car, and I said, I'm sorry. I said, this is the awesomest car I've ever seen. And I kid you not, guys, you know what she told me when she looked out the window? She said, thank you, this is my bold car. And I said, whoa. You're not a movie person, you're a Keller Williams? And she said, yeah. She said, I went to bold, and at bold they asked me, write down what your dream car is, right? And so she said, I wrote this down. I went through bold. I did what they told me. 5 months later, I drove this baby out of the showroom. Now that blew me away, and I've got a selfie with her somewhere, and I'll send it out on the Facebook when I can find it and show you guys. I mean, this car was the Batmobile, man, and she said, "This is my bold car. I got this from Bold. I set my mind to it and realized I could do anything through the Bold training." So I can't encourage you all enough to get on it, right? Another thing that Mike brought up a second ago is MAPS coaching. MAPS is a huge value. I would not be a team leader right now if it wasn't for the MAPS coach I had as a productivity coach who helped me build my program. And MAPS is offering discounts and half price right now for agents to help us get through this time. So if you're interested in taking your business to a next level, I know Jordan just signed up for MAPS coaching. Go on there and check it out. So those are two things I just wanted to bring up to you. And Alan's making some good points here. Don't forget to block in time for self-care, especially in these unique and isolating times. Alan's exactly right. And she mentions a workout, meditation, a bubble bath, whatever helps. I know Mike takes a lot of bubble baths to help him decompress. That's his big go-to move.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know Alan Witt, she is an absolute rock star. If you were working in Jeff City, you should go grab a cup of coffee with her once we're done social distancing. Alan Witt was just named to the top 30 under 30. Was that the award she got there, or movers and shakers? I can't remember the exact
People to
name.
watch, I think it was.
Yeah, people to watch, yeah. And she is She is taking over the Jefferson City market. We're all going to be working for the Alan Witt team someday soon.
And she's in my first level downline, so thank you, Alan.
So Mike, she was one of Mike's recruits. And Alan's a rock star. She also has about the cutest kid going on Facebook right now. If you watch her Facebook feed. So one of the
Hey, Martin.
Yes, sir.
I did register for the Bold. I know Jordan did, and I didn't mean to cut you off. But man, I'd love it if a lot of us would and do that, and we could all kind of confer together and, you know, compare notes and what'd you get and what are your success. I mean, I'd love it if we could get a bunch of people in our market center to do that. It starts, I think, May 5th, something like that. I have to look back, but it is $99, and if we could get some, you know, a good group of people to do it, I think that'd be fun.
Absolutely, and $99, guys, that's a steal. You know, that's a steal. This is an $800 training course that they're putting out for $99. So, you know, Keller Williams is trying as hard as we can from an international level, from a regional level, from a market center level to bring our agents value, help them cut expenses, help them grow their business, even in these tough times. And if you want to have a blowout year, take Bold. I'll tell you right now, any of our agents here at Lake of the Ozarks, I'll even make this claim to the Branson agents. If you register for Bold, you complete Bold, and you don't see it affect your business by 30, 40%, call me. I will personally give you your $99 back. You have it here right now. It's on videotape. I am that confident in it, all right? If you don't see a 30 to 40% increase in your business in the next 12 months after Bold, and you completed it and you graduated from Bold, you reach out to me, and I will give you your $99 back. $99 for how long? A 6-month training? No, Margie, it is, it's normally they do it in person, and it's 6 to 8 weeks, right? Is it 7 weeks? I can't remember how long.
It seems like this one's only 4, twice a week, four weeks.
This one, they're condensing it down because it's online, so it's going to be twice a week for 4 weeks. I think it's 8 weeks. The only reason it always confuses me is where I came from, they always had it with Mega Camp in the middle. So we'd have to stop Bold, go to Mega Camp, come back and go to Bold. So it's going to be, it's usually 8. That's right. So it's going to be 8 trainings condensed into 4 weeks, Margie. It is a great, Mike Staten, he's offering to sponsor someone. If you can't afford the $99, reach out to Big Mike. Reach out to us. If you can't afford the $99, we will certainly try to get it. We can't sponsor everyone, but if you have a need and you want to take that out, reach out and we'll try to find scholarships and other things for that. And one of the things that our commission request allows us to do is some agents that are closing a lot of deals actually contribute to the Bold Scholarship Fund. So there'll be a couple around. But I'm telling you right now, if you sign up and 12 months later you haven't seen an increase in your business, you call me, I'll give you your $99 back, and that's a promise. So can't beat that. All right.
Hey, Martin, I agree. It's the one thing that will change your business with this company, and it's not all about real estate. It brings a lot of things into perspective and why we do what we do.
Absolutely. No, she's absolutely right. And of course, when she said I agree, I thought she meant she agreed she'd give the $99 back. She was letting me off the hook. So, all right. That's a good point, boss lady. Also, while we're here, I want to take you guys, we've been looking a lot at Command. I want to remind you that you also have your mykw.kw.com, right? This is your intranet for the company. This is where we have advertisements for things going on. If you want to go find all the international level training that's coming in, you can explore the schedule here. If you want to find an agent in another location and you don't find a referral network you can look them up on the white pages, right? Get your KW Gmail login. Lots of opportunities here. And Big Mike mentioned the 411. So I want to take you go to resources here and you go to the 411 tools. Can everybody still see my screen? I want to make sure I'm still sharing. Oh, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I just had an absolute legend in the business walk into my office unannounced. Sherry Wigg, everybody.
I'm having computer problems this morning. I could hear him, but I couldn't see him.
She's having some technological difficulties, right? So she's joining me. And Sherry, if you want to pull a chair around, move my backpack, and we'll make room for you. There's always room here. Excuse the mess, guys. I'm currently kind of displaced. So I was showing everybody where they go to their 411, right? And so they went to the resources, they went to the 411, and now you have the 411 tool. And this is what Mike was talking about, right? So the 411, you have your annual goals, your monthly goals, and your weekly goals. and it's an action goal worksheet. So it goes hand in hand with that 1-3-5 that they were talking about. Okay. So let me pull this up. I want to allow that. That's going to open my Word document, so it'll take a second. I'm accepting cookies. Always accept cookies from this site. It helps us develop it and make it better. The 4-1-1 goes hand in hand with your 1-3-5. So your 1-3-5, your one thing is your big rock, your big why, your big goal for the year, your 3 strategies on how you're going to reach that, and then your 5 priorities to accomplish each strategy. And then the 4-1-1 breaks it down into a daily action plan and says, okay, what are the most important things I have to undertake every day to accomplish this every week, to accomplish this every month, so that at the end of these 12 months, I can get to it, right? And the 4-1-1, the 1-3-5 is a living document. Would you say that, Mike? You can certainly flex that from time to time, but the 4-1-1 is a really living document in a way. Don't feel
Absolutely.
like, again, you got to get it perfect. Do your 4-1-1, and then my coach makes me change mine up, right? Because you want to keep flexing and saying, okay. And the great thing about it is now we have a tool where you can do annual business goals, annual personal financial goals, and annual personal goals. And this is not something that, I'm not looking at it. I'll look at it with you and coach you on it if you want to, but this doesn't go to corporate and we review it on you. Instead, this is a tool for you to use to help you have a plan, right? So you have your weekly goals, your monthly goals, and your annual goals. And if you're interested, I have a thing I used when I was a coach. If you'll email me at mrkw@kw.com, that's Mr. KW at kw.com, I'll share it with you. And it had it written out with a little bit more explanation. And Sherry's over here laughing at me. The Mr. KW always gets them, right? Thank goodness my name isn't Bo Smith, or my email would be more offensive. I'll wait for everybody to get that. Carolyn's looking side to side. All right, so that's the 4-1-1. Questions? Mike, you want to jump in here? You mentioned it, so why don't I let you talk a little bit about the 4-1-1?
Well, I think one of the things I would say first, when I was thinking when you were mentioning that, is one common mistake I've seen a lot in the 4-1-1 is people put all 4 weeks of their activities the exact same, and at the beginning of the month they fill in all 4 weeks, and you don't. You only fill in the first week at a time, because as your month goes along, your activities may change. If one of your activities in week 1 is make 20 contacts a day, and your goal is to say have 8 new listings a month, after the second week, let's say you've got 2 listings and you're behind, then in your next week, your week 3, 20 contacts a day may not be enough. So the main thing is just do your weekly activities 1 week at a time, maybe like every Sunday, and not all 4 weeks at a time. I think people fill it in all the entire month at once, and that's not how to do it. And print it out and put it in your planner. Use it as a bookmark in your planner. That's what Jay Papasan always says that he did, and I tried that. And that way it's in front of you all the time. But if the 4-1-1 is used correctly, and I struggled with it early on sometimes, I'd fill it out on Sunday. I'd send it to Carolyn when I was a team leader, and then I wouldn't open it, wouldn't look at it again until the next Sunday. Sorry, Carolyn, I don't know if you knew that or not, but it's true. There's a reason I'm not team leader anymore at Keller Williams Lake the Ozarks Realty. But anyway, I'm kidding. Settle down, Wig.
Upgraded to a younger model.
Yeah, that's the main thing for me is, the 1 year goal has to stay your 1 month, and then your weekly activities are really important. And you don't want to put 14 activities in each week. You want to narrow it down, like I said earlier, to the main 3 or 4, maybe 5 at the very most, and just do 1 month at a time. But it's a tool that if used correctly, if you master it, if you really learn the 4-1-1, it'll change your world. It'll change your whole life. Andy was talking about how the 4 conversations really changed his, and it will. That's changed a lot of lives, but the 4-1-1 will as well too if used correctly.
And you know what? I love that you said that, Mike, because personally for me, one of the things that I really struggled with when I started trying to use 4-1-1, and hey, I'll be the first to admit, guys, I'm not perfect, right? I never will be. I'm kind of like Command. I'm not perfect. I never will be, but I'm always improving. And one of the struggles I had with the 4-1-1 was trying to plan out those weeks in advance and saying, man, I don't know how to plan. And then I had the aha moment, like Mike's talking about, that no. Set your yearly goals. Then each month, at the beginning of the month, set your monthly goals to accomplish those yearly goals. Then each week, you need to spend some time planning your week, right? So the pressure of the 411 that I felt at first was, oh, I've got to write out an action plan for every week and every month of my entire year today. That's not it. And Mike made that point. Just plan your week, right? So for some of you saw my calendar when I shared it, Friday afternoons is when I try to do planning and kind of getting the next week planned. Some of them, it's Sunday evening, they sit down and they plan out their next week. Spend 15 or 20 minutes making a plan, and you're going to be so much more successful. So thank you for that point, Mike, because that was something that personally I struggled with. Was, wow, this 411 thing is really intimidating. How do I know what I'm going to be doing in July, or what I'm going to need to be doing in July when it's January, right? So really important the way he described it, guys. And for those of you that don't know, Mike is one of the best I've ever met at talking the systems and the models when it comes to the 135, the 411, the belief system. And if you, I know Mike, he's got a heart to coach and teach. His email is shared there, MikeStanton@kw.com. If you have questions, concerns, obviously I'm here for you. All the ALC's here for you, but Mike's on the ALC. He's part of the growth, he's the chairman of the growth committee. Reach out to him. I guarantee you I can speak for Mike and say he'd be happy to talk to any of you if you have a question about that. And we're getting 2 big thumbs up there from Big Mike. So, all right. So I wanted to show you guys the 411 because Mike brought it up. And we are going to get out of here and go back to my KW. So guys, some of your My KW page, so we've covered a little bit about time blocking. We've covered a little bit about the 411 and BOLD, which I can't encourage you guys enough to jump on that. If you want to learn more about our culture, I know some of you guys have been reading Joy-Filled Life. Margie let me know that she really enjoyed it. I know I gave a copy to Pam. She's really enjoying it. If you haven't read Mo Anderson's book, Joy-Filled Life, let me know. We're going to get some more copies for the library here at the Market Center as well. Mo drives our culture in a huge way. And if you listen to her speak, I can tell you she sent a video message to the ALC clinic in November that just the video message alone had us all tearing up and opening up our checkbooks to donate to KW Cares, because she can drive the heart and the culture. And when you see us pouring into each other, supporting each other, referring to each other as family, Mo is kind of the mother of all that. She's really who is at the heart of that culture. So learn about her. You can also learn about our charities here. So lots of great information. Another thing, I had a conversation with Kedra last night, and our Four Seasons family. I'm just going to touch on this real quick because the Branson agents and Lake Ozarks should already know. Y'all better already know this, or I would assume you do. Is we're an open book company. Anyone can see what's going on. That's part of our rule, right? And so you can go in here and you can access reports on your Market Center, your reports, your financials. You can see your profit share downline. You can see so many things if you'll go and access your reports here on the MyKW. You can also sign up for KW Maps coaching. If you're looking for education, it'll take you back to KW Connect. This is Keller Williams University. There is a ton of stuff here. Do you want to go into leadership? Do you want to know more? Do you want to go through leverage series? There's a ton of things here, right? The resources are immense, right? We have more resources, more training than anyone else in the industry. And we're happy to share it with you guys because we believe better trained agents make a better real estate market. So if you want to learn, you want to get to command, you want to see resources we have, you want to see KW app resources, the Keller Williams listing sheet, so many things are right here on your MyKW. So really critical that you just get in there, play around with it for our new Four Seasons family, but for our existing agents too. I know there's a lot of you that probably haven't spent much time diving in. This is a great time to learn all of the resources your company brings to you to help you improve your business. So questions, comments, ahas around that before I move on? Sherry?
I just want to say I've taken BOLD 6-7 times. Took the new version down in Branson. It'll change your life, and it's not all about real estate. It's getting your mindset where it needs to be. I I used to read the bold laws to my granddaughter. I mean, it will change your life. And I've paid and sponsored a lot of agents with Keller Williams, and it's worth every 800 penny dollars, whatever. And to be given the opportunity to spend $99 to change your life, you won't regret it.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. And I've seen her trophies. I can verify she has been a bunch of times, and she runs her business at a bold level, right? And that's I'm Mike and I'm bold. That's right. That's what you get to say once you've been through and you graduated. And guys, I agree with what she says. $99 is a huge opportunity to change your business and your life and your mindset, and you'll get so much out of it. We just can't speak enough about it. So I want to pull back up and do just a few minutes in Command, because Command is my favorite topic in the world. I had kind of an aha this morning, and I haven't
That's
had a chance
to worry about, but I didn't know if any, I figured we had checked.
Boss, I'm going to mute you there just in case. One of the things I had kind of an aha this morning, and it goes in with our lead gen, right? So we talked about apps yesterday. So, and if somebody wants to type these out in the text so that we can share with everybody, our apps are our Keller Williams consumer app, right? That's the Keller Williams buy sell real estate in the App Store. You have the Keller Williams for iPad app if you want to use the one that Jordan was showing yesterday. And one of the neatest ones about the technology for me is the virtual assistant app, Kelly, right? And Kelly and I have had a funny relationship because they rolled out Kelly before they rolled out Command. And I was a productivity coach. And they started sweating us, hey, push Kelly, get everybody to sign up for Kelly. And I'm going to be really, really honest right now because this is a safe space. Kelly didn't do anything. Kelly was the most, I said, well, I understand you want me to get everybody to sign up for it, but it doesn't do anything. It really has very little functionality. I don't understand what the point is about Kelly. She's not really functioning as a virtual assistant. Well, when they rolled out Command a year ago at Family Reunion, Kelly got really cool overnight, because what we found was Command is the AI backbone brain that makes your virtual assistant an actual virtual assistant. So I was getting ready for work this morning. I was thinking about what we're going to talk about, and I was thinking about the classes this week. And the coach in me loves smart plans, because if you got everybody on a smart plan and you're doing the steps and you're doing the touches, you're going to have business. And I don't mean you might, I don't mean you could, I mean you will. I will make that claim. You will have business if you put your contacts in, you set them on a smart plan. And what it occurred to me is, I've got this virtual assistant. You know what I'm going to build? I'm going to build a smart plan for Martin management, right? So I'm going to take my time blocking and my schedule and what I need to do on a 411 basis and things like that, and I'm going to build a smart plan so that Kelly reminds me every day that one of my tasks is lead generate in general, or I have an appointment here. So I'm going to find a way. I'm going to put myself in my Command as a contact, and then I am going to build a smart plan that helps me so that my virtual assistant is reminding me what to do on a weekly, daily, monthly basis. You can do that. You can even set it up to where she'll send messages to yourself. So maybe you're a, what's it called when you say nice things about yourself in the morning? You're an affirmations person, right? And you need those affirmations. You get out and you're getting ready and you comb your hair and you say, you got it, big guy. You're doing good today. Or whatever Mike says to himself in the mirror. The point is, you could build her to send you those affirmations, right? So that you can remind yourself of what your goals are, or what your successes are, what your wins are. So I'm going to utilize that. All right. So, okay. Elise, does anyone need listing pictures so that I can go to Bold? All right. Elise is jumping on it. She's trying to raise her some money for Bold. So absolutely, I'm sure. Does Weeg have her Bold bracelet on? She does not have her Bold bracelet on. Man, those bracelets, my coach last year made us change it over for, I can't remember what his reasoning was, but mine broke, and I had to go through all of Bold with it paper clipped around my wrist, trying to hold it together. And then Jenna says, hey, Martin, can you go into a contact and add a phone number or email address? I was trying to clean up our contacts and it would not accept any of my changes last night. All right, Jenna, yeah, let me go in here and pull it up. All right, so I'm gonna go in. Let me find Mr. Joe Mama here. So Joe Mama is one of my test dummy contacts, right? I encourage everyone have a test dummy contact, because this is where you can kind of play around with these things and not have the stress of, oh man, I don't want to affect my client contact or my client issue. So we're trying to add a phone number. So I'm going to go to edit, right? Now I'm sure she knew this part. So I think what she's saying is it wouldn't save. So I am going to say, oh gosh, this is my phone number. All right, yeah, give me a different phone number for it. 216-3819. For everybody that doesn't know, that is Sherry's pizza delivery guy. She has it memorized because she orders so much pizza. So I'm gonna click save, and now it is updated. So Jenna, is that what you were asking me, or do I need to add another phone number to it? And do I need to go into y'all's? If I have Jenna and Terry's add one. Okay, she wants to add one. So let's go in here and let's add more information, additional contact information, additional email, additional phone number. So let's give him back my phone number, 817-312-0082 for anyone that wants to reach me. I'm not giving up my Texas area code. So, all right, I'm going to add the phone number. I can add another if I click that. I didn't add an email. We'll say his preferred method of contact is phone. So let's go down and save it. Okay, so now Mr. Mama, that's his primary phone number. When I click and open, it gives me a chance to call his primary phone number. When I scroll down to additional information, additional contact information, 817-312, I can click on that. It'll ask me if I want to use that one. So is that what we were looking at, Jenna? I kept getting an error. Okay, so so some of the things, and this is a great kind of segue, and we're going to have to keep this one. I have a 10 o'clock call I have to be on, unfortunately, so we got to keep this one on time, and this is a great way to kind of finish up where I wanted to touch on. And Jenna and I have worked on her command before, so I'm sure I've already had this conversation with her. But if you're getting an error, the first question I ask everybody is, are you using the Chrome browser? If you're not using the Chrome browser, yeah, and I knew Jenna, I knew your answer was yes, because I knew I'd asked that before. Sometimes there were some issues going on yesterday with command, so it could have been a short time issue. That's right, and that's what Karen's weighing in. I mean, this is a ever-expanding platform of artificial intelligence, and we are growing all the time. I can also would almost bet you money that as all these different market centers and agents, we've got about 160,000 around the world. They all have command. I can bet you that a lot of them had resisted embracing it until all of a sudden they needed tech and they needed, so there's probably a lot of excess traffic. So if you're having an issue, sometimes remember, it could just be an update. It could be a bug. Yesterday, the GoDaddy.com, which is a long-standing tech company website, their email flopped out on us and we had a temporary email problem for some people. So, if you're getting an error, a lot of times either exit out, come back a few minutes later, see if it's just a reset. If that's not working, be sure and go to this little question mark button and let them know. But usually, a bunch of people have done that. You can reach out to me and I am happy. Anyone, Tiffany, David, Jenna, they'll tell you if you have an issue and you reach out to me, I will get your login and I will go on your command and see if I can play with it on my end and find a solution for you. I'm very willing to help. So apparently there was an error going on with that last night, but it must be fixed today. Jenna, if it's not, let me know. I'm happy to log into yours and see if we can source out the problem. We also have a regional tech director, and we're working on getting Gerald trained up on this because Gerald's a tech whiz. So, we'll have him to answer a lot of questions with Karen as they kind of work through the technology. Another thing, Laura Hatfield yesterday was struggling with her app, and I don't know if Laura's on this morning or not. Laura, are you here? She was having an issue with her app, and she said, well, I can't see the link. Why doesn't mine look like Jordan's? It's not working. Well, once Laura and I got a chance to get on the phone, Laura had her phone settings to zoom in text, right? So she could read it without her glasses. Well, when she zoomed out, the link was right there where it was supposed to be. It was just cut off by her phone's settings. So, you know, sometimes it's certainly not perfect, and you won't hear me try to sell you that it's 100% functional and perfect at all times. What I can tell you is a lot of times when I work with an agent individually on a problem they're having with the technology, it's their device or it's a step they're missing. Command really is working, and look no further than the Staten group, the Matt Ford team, the Servant group, who are running at a high level. Another thing that came up yesterday, and guys, I was looking for good answers to this last night. I found a few that I kind of liked but didn't love, and so I emailed Clark, the regional tech director, duplicate contacts. So I want to encourage you all to get on Facebook and join the Command Your Conversion group. Command Your Conversion is where Nick Baldwin, the Lab Coat Agents guys, they've been as heavy and dove into Command since the beginning. And that group shares a ton of great workarounds, and you can search it for issues. And I searched it last night, and it said basically you can do a bulk pull out to a Google sheet like Jordan was showing us with the spreadsheet yesterday, out of your Command, adjust it in there because it's easier function-wise, and then reload. Now, I'm not saying that that's the solution for everybody. I reached out to Clark for more guidance, but there is ways to do it, and you'll find those answers on Command Your Conversion. So if you're not a part of the Facebook Command Your Conversion group, please, please, please join it. It is a daily update. They share out videos, workarounds, solutions, ahas. So, you know, understand that if you're struggling with it, there is lots of support. But we don't know you're struggling with it if you don't come for support, right? So if you don't reach out to me or Karen or go to Command Your Conversion and try to find the answers, we can't help you out. But 90% of the time, when an agent reaches out to me and says I'm having an issue, we're able to sort it out. By the end of the day, they've got their issue solved, and it's, hey, here's the solution. So, you know, important that you try to utilize that. So we got a few minutes left. Does anybody have anything around? I know Marina had asked yesterday, and I'm getting some questions still from people. If you haven't gone and connected your accounts and looked into all these, and I'm going to give you guys a secret. When you guys ask me questions, you know what I do a lot of times? I just Google, right? I just go to Google. Somebody asked me yesterday, hey, what's our hyperlink supposed to be? I went to Google and typed in hyperlink because I wanted to make sure I got the answer right, and I thought I knew what it was. So a lot of times, you know, you can Google. So if you're wondering, hey, what is PySync? Google PySync. You can learn all about it, right? I can tell you it's to sync contacts from other applications, and if you're syncing multiple accounts, you may end up getting some duplicate contacts. But go in here and learn about what all these things. I mean, companies now are building apps that they can add to our platform, right? Remember when these started? And then they started the App Store, and people started building apps that worked on your platform on the iPhone. That's what we have, right? And you can go to the marketplace, and you can even find other apps that aren't, you know, the free included ones that you can purchase and improve. So you can go to the marketplace and add so much value to your technology, and they're growing them all the time. So, and mine's loading up here. I got a few windows open. So, and I'm watching the time, boss. Don't worry, we'll make the 10 o'clock call. So you can get KW Maps app, right? You track your mileage. You can get a mileage app now and add it to you, right? If you want to stick with Dotloop, you can go stick with Dotloop. You don't have to use DocuSign. If you want to subscribe to Dotloop because you like it, Dotloop will integrate with your command, right? Ecom fax. Hey, the 1980s called. They want us to stop faxing, right? Like, seriously, somebody asked me when the last time I sent a fax was, and I said, I don't know. They went out of style before I was born. If you got something that needs to fax, here's a way that you can do it without having to fight the printers and the copiers, right? Home Jab. You want to set up virtual tours? Boom, there you go, right? You want Command Essentials? There's so many options here, and they love feedback. This is our own app store where people are building it for our technology. So Jenna asked a good question, and we'll finish on this one. So if we wanted to stick with Dotloop, will compliance still check our docs from Dotloop? So Jenna, Dotloop will actually integrate with your opportunities in Command. So if you're like Lynn Haig, I believe, had her set up because I think it was Lynn I was working with, and I don't know if Lynn's on this morning, but and it gave her the option. Do you want to sync? So Dotloop will sync with your opportunities, and you can put your documents into Command for compliance to submit, right? And you can say, click, 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 load from Dotloop instead of from DocuSign. So it will actually sync and work with it. So you'll still be able to do compliance. Now, they won't check your loops. You won't submit through Dotloop. You'll still submit through Command, but Dotloop will be integrated just like that. So great question. That's a great one to end on. So listen, guys, we got a couple minutes, and I have to be on a regional call, so I can't go over. I want to thank you all for joining us, even on a Good Friday. I want to thank you all for participating all week long. I want to encourage you. I know a lot of people are going to be praying real hard this weekend, with it being Easter weekend. Pray for the country. Pray for your fellow agents. We will all get through this. And I want to challenge you guys to share with at least one agent that you're friends with, whether it's in your market center or outside. Invite them to this. Share this link to them. Keller Williams Training is open to all agents. So if you've got someone from another brokerage, and maybe they're small, they're not bringing this value to their agents, hey, invite them on board. We're not going to try to recruit them. We're not going to bug them. What we're going to try to do is pour into them, because better trained real estate agents make a better real estate market for all of us. So please, 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 let's drive this up, have 100, 200 people next week. All right. You guys have a safe weekend, a great weekend. We'll see you Monday morning, same bat time, same bat station. Thank you, Big Mike and Jamie, for jumping in. We love you all. Have a great Easter, and we will see you next Monday. Or we'll see you at 3 o'clock for happy hour. Then we'll see you next Monday. All right.